continues, rather, I've dated very few men in my life and a whole lot of boys. It's also been a long time since I've dated anyone for any length of time, so I'm out of practice. If a man who has his act together actually indicates that he wants me, I will probably run away terrified. You see this, guys? Amy Horton is literally telling us that she is going to run away terrified when a man who has his act together indicates that he wants her. This is your answer, guys. This is the answer for guys who ask, why did she all of a sudden just ghost on me? I'm in great shape. I'm driven. I have goals. I know how to handle women, and I don't tolerate her shenanigans. I listened to Donovan Sharpe's 7-hour course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up, which I got at donovansharpe.com/courses, and I've done everything he instructed me to do. So if I'm this so-called high-value guy, then why did she just up and leave? Well, Amy just answered that question for you guys. Now, she also gives herself away as a bona fide banana gobbler by telling us it's been a long time since she's dated anyone for any length of time and that she's out of practice. Well, we all know what that means, right? This means she's been sleeping around for so long she doesn't really know how to conduct herself in a committed, monogamous relationship anymore. When guys wonder why a girl who says she wants commitment but can't understand why you don't want her texting her ex or going to the club, it's because she's been passed around for so long that her brain's almost been rewired to think that her promiscuous behaviors are normal and healthy. So here's lesson number 1, guys. Never commit to a woman who tells you she hasn't been in a relationship in a while. Now, the first reason for this is obvious, and we've talked about this before, which is if she hasn't been in a relationship in a while, she's exponentially increased her body count during that time, during her relationship hiatus. The second reason is that her relationship mentality has atrophied. What this means is that it will be incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to rid her of the behaviors that kept her on the carousel for so long in the first place. Guys, do not waste your time with girls like this. Use them for sex, throw them back for the next guy when you're tired of her. That's your only move in that scenario. Number 2, I don't like feeling out of control. She continues, as much as I detest dating immature dudes, there's obviously something there that appeals to me subconsciously. I think that I have a need to feel like I'm in charge of romantic situations. It dates back to my childhood issues, I guess. I want to keep the upper hand. Guys, that made absolutely zero sense. But before I tell you why, let's just take a minute here to translate some of the language Ms. Horton is using here, because she's using words and descriptions that are purposely misleading, which indirectly dilutes what's really happening here. She just said immature dudes, and I'm putting this in air quotes for those of you guys listening on the replay. And earlier she said mature guy, which is obviously the opposite. She's also used the words boys and men to describe immature dudes as opposed to mature guys. Amy wants us to believe that she means she's been dating younger guys who are immature and don't know any better, as opposed to older men who have their shit together. But the difference between the two isn't age or maturity level, gentlemen. The difference is bad boys versus high caliber men. That's it. Like most women, Amy jumped into bed with the bad boys in her 20s and shunned men who were good to her. Now, she did give a few men the old college try, as she told us earlier, when she said that she's dated very few men. But because she, like most women her age, were following Sheryl Sandberg's advice on how to date, she put these guys on ice so that she could continue having fun with boys. So when Ms. Horton says boys or immature guys or dudes, she's talking about the bad boys. The guys with tattoos, the guys who treated her like garbage, the guys who passed her around. When she says mature men or just men, she's talking about the guys who she now realizes had their shit together when she passed up on them in her party years. So, bringing it back to number 2, here she says that even though she detests dating the bad boys, which is having sex with the bad boys, because remember, she said that she hadn't dated anyone for any length of time, for a while actually, and she admits that something draws her to these guys. But she says that being in control is what keeps her coming back, and she's either ignorant or she's lying. Girls hate being in control, guys. They think they want to because feminism tells them to be control freaks, and they want all of the accolades that come with being in charge and being a leader. But women are not equipped for leadership, nor can they handle being in control. Amy was never in control with the bad boys, and neither is any other woman. in control with the bad boys, which is one of the main reasons why girls can't really get enough of these guys. No, they certainly do not like not being in control, but they are turned on by the men who are in control. And I talked about this last week. Your woman's not going to like a lot of the things that you say and do to keep her in line, but she respects him. The bad boys were not afraid to piss Amy off. She couldn't control them with sex like she was with everybody else, and she was unable to manipulate the bad boys. She couldn't control these guys, and that's why she stuck around. But what she doesn't know is that she will never have the upper hand with high-value men. She has no idea that any man she feels like she can control and have the upper hand with is a man she won't be able to respect, and she'll be right back to square one when she cheats on him with Dave, the unemployed garage band guitar player who may or may not live in a storage unit. I'm skipping number 3 because it's sponsored by some ridiculous website that coaches women on dating, and as we all know, the only relationship coaching women really need is to stay fit, learn to cook, don't sleep around, and shut the hell up. Right? Listen, women do those 4 things, and they'll be up to their eyeballs in marriage proposals from high-value men. So let's just go ahead and go to number 4. Number 4, I have, she says, an unhealthy familiarity with dating boys. It might not be a good thing, she says, but it's what I know. I understand emotionally stunted and immature men, and something in me wants to take care of them. A friend once told me that I have a savior complex, and she's not wrong. I know it's not my responsibility to fix guys, but old habits die hard. This is a typical flaw in female nature, especially now because women sleep around a lot more as a matter of habit. What I'm talking about here is women being attracted to men they think they can fix. So here's how the cycle goes. They start sleeping with a bad boy. The bad boy cheats on her, calls her names, treats her like garbage, the whole 9. Now, of course, we all know the worse you treat banana gobblers, the better they treat you, which means eventually she'll fall in love with you, as they always do with these bad boys. So now she's invested emotionally, and she starts entertaining thoughts of a long-term relationship with said bad boy. And because today's women want beta behavior from alpha males, they try to change or fix him so they can satisfy both sides of their dualistic sexual strategy, known in the red pill community as what class? Alpha fucks, beta bucks. But what women do not understand is that if they are successful in taming the wild stallion, she'll lose that visceral attraction to him because, number 1, he's not the same person he was when she met him. And number 2, she realizes that she can control him, and women are not sexually attracted to men they can control. They're simply not. This is a paradox that so many women find themselves in all the time, and Illimitable Man actually discussed this in an article a while back. He wrote in a post entitled Dominance and Submission. I'm going to put an excerpt on the screen. I am said, quote, "The man must act upon and mold a woman more than she does him. For if the woman is to act upon and mold the man, she will create something she finds aberrant. More simply and explicitly stated, a woman will mold a man into something she despises, but a man will mold a woman into something he loves." Gentlemen, when women are given control over anything, they destroy it. Single mothers destroy their children. Women have destroyed they've destroyed the dating market, and men who allow themselves to be controlled by women get destroyed. This is how it is. Take a look at your screen again, guys. Here, let me. I'm gonna make myself. I'm gonna kill my camera. And I'm gonna make myself disappear here, because this is a very important cartoon, and I'll try to narrate as best I can for those of you listening on the replay. So this is a cartoon I saw on, I forget what Red Pill site I saw it on a while back, but it was on a Red Pill. It was on a Red Pill site, and it perfectly illustrates why you should never allow a woman to change you. So again, for those of you listening, I'll narrate as best I can. So in the first box, a girl and a guy see each other, they like each other, they hook up and become a couple. In the second box, she says, "Baby, enough with the cartoon shirts. You're not 15 anymore. Get a polo or something else." In the third box, she says, "Honey, maybe you should shave. And since you're doing that, why don't you get a haircut too?" And in the very last box, the guy is crying, reading a Dear John letter that says, "Bob, I left you. I left because you're not the same person anymore. You've changed. Love, Sarah." Sarah left Bob because Bob allowed Sarah to change him. Sarah liked Bob when she met him. She liked the long hair. She liked, the cartoon shirts were part of his quirky charm. She liked the beard. She liked the long hair. But because women are grossly unaware that they destroy anything and everything they have sole control over, they can't help but to nag. And if the man she's nagging is weak-willed, if he has a scarcity mindset, or he isn't steadfast in his beliefs, he will cave in and submit to her whims. Now, some of you guys are probably wondering, well, why do women do this, Donovan? Why do they never realize that they've always fallen out of love with the men that they are successful in bending to their will? And the answer is simple: because they're women. And women shit test. You see, gentlemen, when a woman tells you to change your wardrobe or to shave your beard or cut your hair, she's shit testing you without even realizing she's doing it. She has no idea that her operating system, which, by the way, is running in her subconscious, is asking, does he wear retro gaming t-shirts because he likes them or because he's trying to be unique? Did he grow a beard simply because he wanted to, or did he grow it because he read somewhere that beards are more attractive to girls? Let's see if this guy is who he really is. And this is when she starts nagging you about changing the things that are seemingly inconsequential but turn out to be the very reasons she leaves you. So here's lesson number 2, guys. If you allow a woman to change you, she will lose attraction for you. If you let her change anything about you, gentlemen, you have failed that critical shit test. Never forget this.